So, as many of you can see here, this is not the traditional um, Buster Blader list. It's not even a traditional Dark Magician list. It's something in the middle, which I just class as a Buster Blader Dragoon Turbo. So this isn't actually my list, this is something that I pinched from online because it just seemed very interesting and I actually wanted to pilot it. Unfortunately, I can't pilot it in real life because I don't have that many Illusion of Chaoses, and I've never invested in Dark Magician. I'm just categorically going to be honest. I have a Buster Blader pilot with Dark Magician on. I will have to send this off to my friend. Shout out to Kieran. You're going to have a lot of fun with this one day because. So I'm just going to go through the card by card and then do the explanation at the end. So we play the 3 Ash Blossom, the 1 Buster Blader, the 1 Buster Blader, the Destruction Swordsman, Destruction Swordmaster, 3 Buster Welt, 1 Effect Veiler, 2 Magician's Rod, 1 Magician's Soul, 3 Nibiru, 1 Timaeus, 2 Dark Magician, 2 Illusion of Chaos, 1 Call by the Grave, 1 Dark Magic Circle, Double Desires, 2 Preparation of Rites, 1 Secret of Dark Magic, 3 Soul Servant, 3 Super Poly, 1 Destruction Sword Flash, 2 Destruction Sword Memory, 2 Prologue, and 1 of the Treasure. So, as you can probably see, the 1 Effect Veiler probably shouldn't be there. It should be some other card. This is something that I just didn't I just stole this effectively from the OCG and tweaked a bit of it. I haven't tweaked all of it, so that's probably the remnants of something that should probably be an upstart copy at this point. I was trying to put more hand traps in originally, but I couldn't think of the correct ratios yet. I haven't played enough of the new format now with all the other stuff in the way the cache is playing differently now, because I play this more at local level, so it's not like this is going to be playing against cache anytime soon. As for the other stuff, we played the great ratios of 5 normal summons, so we want this to be the normal summon because this searches the trap that makes the fusion monster and the sync. So the trap, how it works is it sends the other trap to the graveyard to synchro summon, and then the other one banishes for cost to fusion summon the fusion monster. So that's why we want this out of all of them. The rod is okay because it gets to the Dark Magician stuff that make the Dragoon, basically, so it's plan B. You'd rather get to the skill drain over the Dragoon because there are some that can just out the Dragoon, but the skill drain lineup is a bit harder unless they just have Dark Ruler, which they just drew the out. As for the Souls package, so it's 2 ways into the ritual, 2 of the ritual, and then 1 of the Souls. So I was going to play more of it with more copies of Souls, but in testing, I found that I don't want multiple Souls because you get to your strategy quite quickly because there's just many different ways into all the good cardboard. So Souls gives you the additional push that you need. You can live off not drawing it or drawing into any way of it, but you just don't want too many copies of the stuff in hand because it becomes really, really bad, like really quickly, so it just doesn't achieve what you want it to achieve. The 2 Dark Magicians, because we play the 2 Dragoon, so what's better than 1 Dragoon? The second Dragoon. The 1 of the fusion spell. So this is actually a ritual spell in the fusion part. So we don't actually ever use the ritual part because the ritual part is terrible. We just use the part that just says this fusions with 1 of the destruction cards to make a Dragoon, and then we have just a Dragoon. Fair enough, it's only got 1 pot, but it's a big beat stick that is an omni-negate that does stuff. And then the 1 Soul Servant. So this is actually kind of funny because this allows you to actually make the second Dragoon, because this actually lets you put the fusion spell back to the top of your deck, and then you banish to draw, and activate the fusion spell to fusion summon a second Dragoon. Because some people don't actually have multiple paths to multiple ones that appear, so it's just works. And it's also like the free draw power, so free draw power is just free draw power. You want to draw into all your consistency, so yeah, that is kind of a thing that is good. Super Poly because board breaker. You go second, you draw this, you have your opponent's board, you set up the Buster Lock, and then your opponent just doesn't win. This is a bit of a weird card, so if you have access to the Buster Traps already, this is like a good alternative to search for. So it is basically, it's just better, better and worse. Even the banishes face down, but this just banishes in general. So this can just be something that's just sat there, and your opponent tries to out the fusion, the synchro monster. Because The Synchro Monster is actually just something that affects a lot of decks, because sometimes decks like the Silence can actually do quite that certain type, so people are more likely to want to out that than other things, so that's why trying out that, as a result, they just walk into this card and die horrifically. The 3 prologue over the 3 of the other one is because this is the one that you actually want to draw, because it sends the other one to the graveyard and special summons the Buster Dragon. Fair enough. It doesn't correctly summon it, so you can't reborn it back, so it's sad. But it's the fact that it sends this for free, and this is the thing that makes like the full combo work. The trap trick is also good because it gets things. So this is like the main heart and soul, bread and butter, whatever you want to call it, to get into the stuff that you need. And then for the extra deck, it's a bit of a work in progress. I still need to do more testing. I don't agree with everything that was in the ratios. Some of it has not worked out as well as I hoped it would, but oh well. So we play 2 of the Buster Blader fusion because you have multiple ways to it, so sometimes the second one does actually come up. It's very rare, but it does. When it does, you just want the second one. Double Garuda and 1 Mud Dragon, just super poly targets, nothing else. One of this, so this, I've actually summoned this against Dragon Link a few times because of the super poly, because your opponent just walks into it. It's not the greatest card, but it does what it needs to, and if you aren't using super poly to summon it, then basically it's some other fusion that you can actually summon off the Dark Magician fusion spell, so it's pretty decent. It also has a pretty decent effect of target 1 special summon monster, banish that monster, and all monsters on the field of the same original type. So it works against just as border removal. This is just how the deck works. You either have skill drain or just border removal, so yeah, it's not really something that is summoned that often. It was one of those cards that was hyped up for a little bit and then kind of faded away into obscurity because it only works in certain types of decks, but this is one of those decks where it works. Dragoon is Dragoon. I'm not explaining it. It's just Dragoon. Then there's 2 Buster Dragons. This is the one that kind of just turns on the negates. It turns everything to dragons and then makes your Buster Blader amazing. And if you have to go against dragons anyways, then Buster Blader is just amazing on his own, and you're not as worried about this. And then there is the 1 Dark Charmer, the 1 Imduk. The Imduk is just for the Dark Magician, just to get the Dark Magician, so that sometimes you can revive the stuff. And also, this is better than Link Spider, not just because Link Spider requires level 4s, but because if your opponent does the zone placements wrong, this destroys whatever it points to. Then there's the 1 Link Revo to just get rid of the Disruption Sword monster. It's something not a useful thing. 1 Liner, because we do play a combination of lights and darks in the deck, so yeah, it does come up from time to time. And then the 1 Relinquished Anima. The 1 Relinquished Anima because it's just an amazing card. It does what it needs to do. Achieves everything that it kind of does. There is 1 card that I do contemplate playing in here. There is 1 card that I do actually contemplate playing in here. It really does tempt me to play Chaos Angel in here because Magician's Rod's a level 3 and Dark Magician is a level 7, so you can make the Chaos Angel. Fair enough, it's not made with lights, so it's not as good as it could be. But because of the funniness of in the side deck of that Ghost Ogre, there will be a circumstance where you will come up where you will normal that Ghost Ogre and then have the Dark Magician up, make Ghost Angel with light in the dark, and it'll just be funny. Just funny, nothing else, just funny. On to the side, we play double Kaiju. It's needed because Rise of Heart is a card, and outing Pearly is also certain things. Obviously, this is not designed for the meta, but if you want to just not be dead on arrival, you kind of have to play Kaiju to kind of stuff. I think I might not play the Ghost Ogre anymore. It has worked in certain matchups, however, I think Droll is just a bit better. And if you can find space to put Droll in the main, the Droll is just going in the main. Yeah. Then there is the 1 Harpy Feather Duster and the double Lightning Storm. I kind of like this ratio right now. It's been in most of my deck builds if you've ever seen the profiles. Double Secret Village, deck of Spellcasters is double Evenly Matched. It's part of the ratio with the double Lightning Storm. The ratio behind it is basically one of them will at least come up to be useful. You don't want to have multiples of each in your hand. So if you play one of those 5, if you draw a combination of them, it's not terrible because they both do different things, so achieve different things. And then the summon limit. So the idea with the summon limit is that during your opponent's turn, you're only going to summon twice, and during your turn, you only ever really summon twice. You go either the level 1 and then a Link monster, and you set up for next turn for 2 summons, or go to the fusion spell to summon Dragoon and normal summon the Rod. That's 2 summons, so yeah, it's designed for that sort of thing. Fair enough, it doesn't do as much as it probably should, because many decks play back row removal, but the thing is, like, your opponent's not going to side back row removal against this because all of your traps are chainable. So if your opponent ever tries to like Cosmic Twin, Harvey's Fed the Dusty, they've just wasted a card, so they haven't even achieved anything at the end of it. But yeah, that's it for the deck list. I would like some feedback on it because this just needs a lot more, like a hell of a ton.